Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys enjoyed your week. This week was a pretty relaxing yet a little bit weird week. I actually had family fly in from England this week for my grandmother's birthday, and we toured downtown Charleston, which was really fun. I'm a local here to Charleston. I was born and raised here. So even though I was born and raised here in Charleston, it was still kind of cool going on one of these touristy things. Honestly, I really just enjoyed being on the water. I really miss going out in the boat. My granddad used to take us out in the boat almost once or twice a week. Oh, there's hubby's hand. He's ruining my video. Anyways, once or twice a week, and I really miss that. But this relaxing tour ride on the water was a perfect start to our really weird yet crazy week. So what made this week really weird was my oldest two has spent the week with their grandmother and grandfather, and they've never really been gone for that long. And it was really strange only having 3 kids in the house instead of 5. It was oddly relaxing and oddly less chaotic, yet I still didn't know what to do with myself. So I ended up seriously cleaning their room. Their room is a constant disaster. It is a constant mess. The floor is always covered in toys and stuffed animals, and just you can almost never see the floor in here. So I decided while they were gone to go through all their toys, all their clothes, which I'm doing right now. There was a lot of stuff that Vivian grew out of and isn't going to be able to wear next winter. So I'm mostly getting rid of winter clothes. And same for Gene, except for with his clothes, I actually am saving them because by the time winter hits this year, my oldest twin should be in 5T, which is absolutely insane. This child is 2 years old and he is in 4T clothes right now. So by the time winter hits, he'll probably have another growth spurt and be able to fit 5T clothes, which is it is absolutely insane. Jean is 5 and is growing out of 5T clothes, and my 2-year-old is growing into 5T clothes. How crazy is that? Now, I will say I have gone through their room once already this year. If you don't know from my other videos, I have made it my New Year's resolution to declutter and reorganize the house. And I've already done their room, but I feel like their room definitely needed to be done again because I noticed that there's a lot of toys and just stuff in here that they honestly don't need, and all they do is throw it around. And nothing really gets played with because I feel like it's too much. So I'm taking advice from a couple of other people on my other social medias and going through everything. Going through stuff is a little hard for me just because I get sentimental with things. And especially toys, it's really hard for me to get rid of toys, even though they don't play with them, just because I remember when they did play with them and they are no longer interested, and that just means they're growing up, and that's it's sad, honestly. It's I don't know, it's a bittersweet actually. It's not really sad. It's more or less a bittersweet because it's like, oh yay, you guys are growing up. You're learning new things, you're getting different interests, but then again, it's like, but you were just my baby not too long ago. Like, what happened? I know every mom feels like this. My mom talks about it all the time. It's a constant conversation because my siblings actually just moved out and they all got their own house. And, she's going through empty nest syndrome. So she's always talking about when we were little and how we did this and how we did that and how she feels like it was yesterday. And it's just like, okay, I know I need to sit and enjoy this. Anyway, so now I'm going through their toys. Their room was absolutely so bad that when we went out Monday, the babysitter that we had watching them, she actually said that she got bored and just decided to clean their room. I was like, okay, that's really nice. So she just threw everything in buckets, which is totally fine. It was at least picked up into where, we could walk into the room, and I did not mind at all digging through these buckets. They were already unorganized anyways because, the kids are kids and they don't necessarily put things back where they belong. But I also feel like that's partially my fault because I don't stay on top of it. So I'm just going through all these toys and picking out the trash, the ones that are broken, putting stuff in their correct buckets and where they actually belong. A lot of these puzzles that were in this bucket right here were all broken and chewed on for some reason. I don't know who chewed on them, but they were chewed on and ripped in half and no longer usable. So I just threw them away. And the stuff that is usable that I know they don't play with anymore, I am donating. I donate to my local thrift store. For the Navy, my Navy local thrift store, which I absolutely love this thrift store. So that's what I am doing. This honestly was a lot of work, sort of. I mean, I can't really say it was a lot of work. It was just honestly time consuming. It took a good 3 to 4 hours to do everything. Thank goodness this day Harley actually napped for the whole 3 to 4 hours. I think I put him to bed at I want to say 9:30, 10 o'clock, and he didn't, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and he didn't wake up till about 1:30. So that's a really long time for him to sleep. He must have really needed it. I did notice that when I picked him up, you can definitely tell he had a growth spurt. Like when you pick up your baby after laying them down for a night's sleep or a nap and you just pick them up and go, you look taller. That's exactly what happened. So next week when we get back from vacation, we're having a little mini vacation. I am meeting Jean and Vivi up at their grandparents' house. Well, they're actually my grandparents, so they're great grandparents. I'm going up there with the twins and the baby to stay at least for 4 days and then drive everybody back, which should be fun and interesting. I'm not entirely sure how well this is going to play out. I'm a little nervous, honestly. I'm nervous about how the twins are going to be outside of their natural environments. We've never really stayed anywhere outside of the house before other than my grandmother's house, which they know very, very well. But Grandma and Gramps' house is a little bit different and they've never been there. So I don't know how they're going to handle being outside of the home. I know Harley will just be fine. He's 9 months. He doesn't entirely know what's going on, but I feel like Sam and Seth are going to be a little bit harder. I don't know. I'll give you guys an update next week. We'll see how this goes. Anyways, back to what I was saying. When we get back, I plan on going through my room again, along with my closet and getting it cleaned back out. I realized that there's a lot of stuff in this house that we still... Oh, look, there's a stick. Why is there a stick in their closet? I don't know. Anyways, I realized since the last time that I decluttered, which was about 2 months ago, because I've just been so busy, there's a lot of stuff in this house still that we do not use, haven't used in those 2 months that I ended up keeping because I was like, oh, well, we can use this. I'll use this for something. I'll use this for this. And I haven't. So, another stick. So yeah, I'm going to go back through and re-declutter. That's another thing I have a hard time with, getting rid of stuff because I think I'm going to need it in the future or it's going to get used in the future, but in reality, it's not going to get used. I have to ask myself when I'm decluttering several times, am I going to use this? Does this have a use? Will I use it within the next 2 weeks? Sort of questions. And if the answer is no to all those questions, it goes into donation. But sometimes I'm just like, yeah, I could use this. Yeah, I'll use it. And then I'll put it away and completely forget about it and obviously not use it. Okay, so what I am doing here is taking out the cubicle that had all those toys in the closet. That's going to get donated because we don't need it anymore. I got rid of so many toys. The toys didn't even fill up the cubicle anymore. So I'm actually going to move this dresser into the closet to open up their room a little bit more and be able to move the dollhouse that's taking up space in the living room into their room. And that way Vivian can actually play with it. She doesn't really play with it. I'm really struggling to move this. She doesn't really play with it out in the living room just because she'll set it up to how she wants it and then the twins go behind her and just completely tear it down and she just gets annoyed and then it doesn't get played with. So I'm hoping if I move it into her room, it will get played with. If not, it will also be going to donation because it's pretty big. My mom brought it over from somewhere and she was just like, here, have this. And I'm like, great, a giant dollhouse that we don't really need. But Vivian ended up really liking it. She was playing with it until I moved it out into the living room. But anyways, so I'm going to move it back in here. I don't know what was all over the wall, but it looked like something got splattered on the wall. I don't understand how when the TV was right there. So I don't know what these kids are doing in here. These kids are crazy. I mean, between the sticks in their room and all the other random stuff I found, like they were keeping instructions for things and I'm just like, why do we need this? So I'm cleaning out this corner. I got a bookshelf from Walmart that fits perfectly in this corner. I'm so glad I found it because this corner is just so awkward. Nothing fits there. The dresser doesn't fit there. The cubicle probably would have fit there anyways. And then Vivian's dresser doesn't fit there. It's too narrow. And so I am cleaning it out and also going through the baby dolls. Vivian has so many baby dolls and she doesn't play with half of them. She likes the baby dolls with the hair because she likes doing their hair, but like the bald babies and the plastic ones, she doesn't really play with anymore. So they're going into donation and they will find their new home with somebody else who will love them. Now, this baby that I just put on the bed, that's my baby doll from when I was a kid, along with the stroller that was in the corner. That was also my baby stroller when I was a kid. So those two things I can't really get rid of because, I mean, you're not going to find a baby doll or a baby stroller like that anymore. Now I am having to pull out Vivian's mattress from underneath the bed because there are just so many toys stuck between the mattress and the wall. I was mind boggled by the amount of toys and I'm just like, how and why? Why are there so many toys? I noticed as I was cleaning up that a lot of the toys that were in here didn't actually belong. They belong in the living room for the community toys. So the living room, I have a rule in the living room that if it's out in the living room, you have to share. So there's a lot of toys out in the living room that are communal toys where everybody plays with them. They're everybody's toys. Now the toys that are in their room are their toys and they don't have to share, but if they bring it out into the communal area, they do have to share. So it's just a rule that I have in place that seems to really alleviate a lot of the fighting, because if they start fighting, well, take it to your room. If you want to play by yourself, you play by yourself in your room, sort of thing. So now I am going through the stuffed animals, and oh my gosh, the amount of stuffed animals these children have. And I know I am the culprit because I like buying them stuffed animals. Honestly, this is my fault. But I am going through them. I am picking out the ones that are their favorites, the ones that they cuddle with the most, the ones that they play with the most, the ones Vivian likes to set up for a tea party, and keeping those and making sure they all fit in this little rope like hamper thing. It's supposed to be a clothes hamper, but I'm using it for the stuffed animals. So whatever doesn't fit in this rope clothes hamper, which you'll see in a second, it went to the thrift store to find its new home. Now, the amounts of blankets that these kids have in here. Oh, there's the hamper. Anyways, the amounts of blankets that these kids had in here are crazy. They had almost a whole closet worth of blankets, which makes me wonder if I need to go back through our blankets and get rid of a lot of them, because we have so many blankets. And with me doing laundry on a daily basis, I don't think we need to have as many blankets as we have. I think I should narrow it down to each kid's 3 favorite blankets and then get rid of the rest, because I also have, my favorite blankets that I like to use, and hubby has his favorite blankets. Also, I don't know how they did this, but their bed is super crooked. It is heavy, so I don't know how they made it this crooked, but whatever. So I think if I narrowed it down to 3 blankets a person, it would alleviate a lot of the blankets around the house. So I'm taking a break from Jean and Vivi's room and doing something that is very hard, which is going through Harley's clothes. I had a lot of memories rolling through my head going through his clothes, because a lot of this stuff I kept from Jean, from my first kid, and now that we're not having any more, it's time to get rid of it all. And it's kind of like a bittersweet moment also, because I'm done having kids. I don't want any more kids, but at the same time, it's sad that I have to get rid of their clothes. So this is all the stuff that went through to the thrift store. We had 7 bags, which I tried to put in the trunk and it did not work, and 1 box. So now I'm back in Jean and Vivian's room, and I am just putting everything on the bookshelf that hubby built. See how nicely it fits? And the stroller fits nice and folded up in between the bookshelf and the bed. That way it is out of the way, and hopefully this will alleviate a lot of their toys going all over the place. This is all the toys that are in their room besides the Lego table and the stuff for the dollhouse. I do want to find different buckets for the bookshelf. Yeah, and Harley knocked over the camera. That's what I get for putting it where he could get it. I should have known better. Anyways, so I want to get different buckets, because these cloth buckets, they don't hold up very well. They rip so easily. They get torn apart. We've gone through so many of the cloth buckets, and I would really like to get I think it's the woven wicker baskets. I think that's what they're called. But I want to get those cute little baskets. The thing is the size that I need, it's so expensive. So I've been trying to find them at a thrift store, which it's hard to find them because I feel like as soon as they're there, they're gone. Somebody picks them up. I was also thinking about doing clear buckets, but because everything is in those buckets, it's not really aesthetically pleasing. It's kind of just thrown in there because it's bits and pieces of Magnetiles and Vivian's doll baby stuff and Jean's marble run, so it wouldn't look really nice. But I do have these clear buckets, which I got off of Amazon. I really like them for bits and small pieces. I will link those in the description for you guys if you want to go get some. I think I got a pack of 12. I use them in the twins' room as well to keep their little people toys all together and just their bits and pieces, like their tools and things like that. It's really nice, and it's really easy for them to open up by themselves. Along with, they seem pretty sturdy. The twins like to stand on them for some reason, so they're pretty sturdy. They haven't broken them yet. Yet is the key word, though. Anyways, Jean and Vivian's room is pretty much done. I just have to change the bed sheets on Jean's bed. I already changed Vivian's bed sheets while I had her bed out from underneath the bed. And I end up putting the blue fuzzy rug that was in the twins' room in here because Sam he did not like it in there. He would always take it up and scream at me and want it out. So I'm putting it in their room. So that way it still gets used and it's out of Sam's way. And so here's what their room looks like. I don't have a before, but I promise you it looks so much better than it did. Absolutely amazing. I also put up shelves on the wall as well for Jean's little inventions. And to end our week, I finally got to go on my ride. We were supposed to go for my birthday, the Sunday after my birthday, April 8th, and couldn't because the bike was in the shop. So we had to wait until Mother's Day and we were able to go. I was so happy. I'm so glad. It was a beautiful day. It did not rain, and it ended up being bike week in Myrtle Beach, which was so cool. All these motorcycles and all these bikers. It was really loud. I can't tell you that much, but it was super fun. It was so cool. There was some really cool looking bikes and a lot of pretty colors that I've never really seen. And that pretty much concludes this week's vlog. I hope all the moms out there had a wonderful Mother's Day, and I will see you guys next week. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you want to ask me any questions. All right, bye y'all.